Friday, 19th June 2026. Welcome to the Crown TV Grand News. You're watching us live on DSTV channel 277, on Go TV channel 23, and on Top Star channel 89. We're also live on the Star Times application, on Facebook and YouTube as Crown TV Zambia. Remember to subscribe to our channel. For the Grand News this evening, my name is Rachael Chipwende. The headlines. HH wins eligibility case. TIZ flags transparency gaps in dual carriage project. 200 East Police get promoted. And in sports news, FAS kicks off high-stakes promotion playoffs. The Grand News in detail. The Constitutional Court has dismissed a petition challenging President Hakainde Hichilema's nomination for the 2026 general elections, ruling that the claims raised by United Party for National Development (UPND) member Charles Longwe lacked sufficient evidence and did not fall within the constitutional grounds governing candidate eligibility. Details in this report.
The Constitutional Court has dismissed a petition filed by UPND member Charles Longwe, which sought to nullify the Electoral Commission of Zambia's acceptance of President Hakainde Hichilema's nomination. Longwe argued that the party's adoption process was conducted by officials whose mandates had allegedly expired. Delivering judgment, Judge Martin Musaluke ruled that the petition lacked merit and that the petitioner had failed to provide sufficient evidence to support his claims. The court further found that Longwe's allegation that the UPND had failed to hold free and fair inter-party elections does not fall under Article 52 of the Constitution. Meanwhile, Longwe says he is satisfied with the court's judgment and respects the decision, stating that it had clarified what he considered the most important aspect of the matter.
Well, we respect the court's decision. That is important. When the court rules like this, it clarifies on certain aspects, and in this case, it has clarified on one key aspect of the limitation of Article 52. I think that was the primary thing. They didn't go into anything else, so that leaves it to us as citizens now to pursue. So we have been guided by the court, and I think that's sufficient for today.
We are satisfied because this is the apex court. We have just to accept it, whether we are happy or not happy. The justice has been done because we have been given the reasoning of the court, and we are under obligation to respect the court's judgment.
Legal State Counsels Mlambo Haimbe, Michael Mono and Keith Mwemba welcomed the ruling, saying justice had been delivered through an independent and impartial judicial process. They stated that while everyone has a right to challenge a nomination, it is important to establish whether the candidate in question meets the required qualifications.
Our perspective as the practitioners representing President Hichilema and, of course, the UPND, we are certain that justice has been delivered. The democratic dispensation of this country is such that one can come to court and approach court for a relief, which the petitioner did in this case. And the court is mandated with the duty to determine that particular challenge, which has happened. It's a testament to our democracy and to the fact that the courts are able to deliver judgments on an independent and impartial perspective.
The court has determined that if everyone has a right to challenge a nomination, but in doing so, it is fundamental that you must establish the disqualification of the candidate whose nomination you want to impugn. So the Constitution sets out qualifications and disqualifications of candidates, presidential in this case, and to succeed in invalidating the nomination of
of President Hakainde Hichilema. In this case, the petitioner needed to show that he is not qualified as per those qualification and disqualification provisions.
We submitted in court in the morning that this petition was a routine dead petition, and I think the court has just proved that it was a non-starter, so there was really nothing much to say. The petitioner came to court on the platform of relying on matters of a private nature, of a private arrangement in a political party, and they wanted to invite the court to pronounce itself that he had a valid case, when in fact he had no valid case.
The petition was filed against UPND Secretary General Batuke Menda, President Hakainde Hichilema, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, the Registrar of Societies, and the Attorney General. Earlier, all 5 respondents opposed the petition and asked the court to dismiss it with cause, arguing that the nomination process complied with the law and that the issues raised concerned UPND's internal affairs rather than the president's constitutional eligibility, and now each party will bear its own course. Kundej Sachingalesu Ngandu, reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
Transparency International Zambia has noted with concern the over 649.98 million Lusacan dollar dual carriageway, warning that hidden project documents on the concession agreement, feasibility study, and environmental impact assessment are not public, which could fuel corruption as the project is a public-private partnership. Speaking during the presentation of the corruption risk assessment to stakeholders in Ndola, TIZ Research and Advocacy Manager Bright Chizonde said the missing documents make it hard for citizens to judge if the road project serves them. He stressed that without access, accountability suffers and oversight is weakened. Mr. Chizonde further flagged broader issues on the findings, which are high public sector corruption, political and tribal influence in appointments, external influence, and no accessible grievance mechanism. Details in this report.
Ndola dual carriageway has been described as a lifeline road. It's one of the country's busiest economical corridors, and government says it will ease business, boost trade, and help move goods across borders faster. But for Transparency International Zambia has flagged corruption risks on the $649.98 million project. TIZ Research and Advocacy Manager Bright Chizonde told the stakeholders in Ndola that the key documents are still not public. He says without the concession agreements, feasibility studies, and EIS citizens can't check toll fees, debt guarantees, or environmental safeguards.
High level of public sector corruption. This is another area we found at the country level. So obviously we know, as measured by the Corruption Perception Index, CPI, which is again conducted by Transparency International, Zambia's CPI score dropped from 39 out of 100 in 2024 to 37 out of 100 in 2025, a drop of 2 points. Okay? As long as the CPI score is less than 50 out of 100, we are not at the midpoint, because 50 is the midpoint. As long as you are less than 50 out of 100. The prevalence of political party and tribal loyalties is another aspect that we found as an area of concern, or cultural hierarchy, which dominated business and government appointments and decisions. So again here, we may have an individual who is very educated, very knowledgeable about public infrastructure, and maybe engineering, but if they do not align themselves, maybe they are not aligned maybe based on the tribal loyalties, or they are not aligned based on political party affiliation, they may not be appointed in certain positions to support efficient management of public infrastructure. So that becomes a problem. Okay? So there is a particular gap also we found on this element.
Mr. Sonda says TIZ CPI-based assessment praised the Ministry of Finance for strong procurement systems and openness to media, but still, he pointed to bigger problems: high public sector corruption, political and tribal influence in appointments, external influence, and no accessible grievance mechanism.
There is considerable external influence on how these decisions are made because of the development support that the country receives. Okay? They may, because of the fact that people are giving you money, and the classic example, of course, is through the IMF program, the way they influence policies because they are providing financing. Even through other development partners or development finance sources, they don't just give money without conditions. This money usually is tied to some aspects of developing projects and things of that nature. Delays in reforms to strengthen the asset declaration regime. Okay? So in the country, we are supposed to have periodic declaration of assets and liabilities. Okay? For senior public officials, they should declare their assets and liabilities. This is an anti-corruption measure or a preventive measure because it allows us to be able to identify when there is illicit enrichment, where someone now is accumulating wealth faster than they are supposed to given their level of income. Okay? So if they don't declare their assets and liabilities periodically, maybe on an annual basis, it creates that particular risk. And so we have noticed that there's been limited progress in putting in place this asset declaration.
To close the gap, TIZ is calling for three things: more transparency in PP's public grievances, redress system, and stronger citizen sensitizations. Reporting for Crown TV News, I'm David Kunda in Ndola District, Copperbelt Province.
Transparency, I beg your pardon. The Inspector General of Police, Rachael Chipwende, has promoted more than 200 police officers in Eastern Province as part of ongoing nationwide promotions within the Zambia Police Service. The promotion initiative is aimed at motivating officers and recognizing their dedication, commitment, and exemplary service. Eastern Province Police Commanding Officer Robertson Mwemba represented the Inspector General during the conferring of ranks and urged the newly promoted officers to demonstrate leadership skills and be role models in the communities they serve. David Sambo gives us more in this report.
The General of Police, Mr. Rachael Chipwende, has promoted more than 200 police officers in Eastern Province as part of ongoing nationwide promotions within the Zambia Police Service. The promotions are aimed at motivating officers and recognizing their dedication, commitment, and exemplary service. Eastern Province Police Commanding Officer Robertson Mwemba represented the Inspector General during the conferring of ranks in Petauke. He expressed gratitude to Mr. Chipwende for recognizing dedicated officers. Mr. Mwemba urged the newly promoted officers to remain disciplined and show professionalism, saying promotion comes with greater responsibility and higher expectations.
I stand here just as a signature to the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Chipwende, and his team, the High Command, the so-called High Command. I've been mandated, I've been sent throughout the province just to announce a few promotions that he has approved. So this is an appreciation from the High Command for the good work that you do. Those of you who are constables, you are now sergeants. Sergeants, now you are now inspectors. Inspectors, you are now chief inspectors. Show leadership. It would be bad for your commanders there to come and insult you because you have failed.
Meanwhile, Mr. Mwemba has warned officers to refrain from drinking alcohol during working hours.
Those of you who like to bottle, you reduce or stop. Some of us, we don't smoke, we don't drink. Did we die? We are still alive. When you enter into a bar, the people, civilians should point, oh, there is an officer there. We don't want to come and hear Mr. Pupi, come and get your officer here, he's totally drunk. It will be an insult to the one who recommended you.
The newly promoted officer representatives also had this to say.
As officers, we assure you that we will be committed to work hard, and furthermore, we will continue to be dedicated and be disciplined to our service delivery. On behalf of the promoted officers, we extend our deepest gratitude to you, sir, for remembering us with the promotions. This means a lot to us because it shows that our hard work is being noticed.
On policing the upcoming general election, Mr. Mwemba had this to say.
As a division, we are more than ready to police the elections. I think you can recall the whole division or the whole province, the time when we had the nominations. Not even a single district did we experience violence. So we are going to maintain the same spirit.
Later, Mr. Mwemba paid a great score on Petauke District Commissioner Martha Evans.
We appreciate that the command has taken this initiative that our officers are elevated, and it has come at the right time where we are in campaigns, and they should show that really, I think for now the campaigns are going on well, very calm. I don't think I've heard of any violence yet.
For Crown TV News, Sambo David, Petauke is a province.
Now, as political parties intensify their preparations for Zambia's 2026 general elections, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, is concerned with what it terms or describes as uncoordinated campaign activities. For this reason, the Commission says it will convene a meeting on Monday, 22nd June, and has requested all presidential candidates to gather and agree on a timetable that will guide all presidential campaigns. This has, however, not been received well and has drawn criticism from Civil Society Elections Integrity Forum Zambia, who have maintained that campaigning is a constitutional right and the Commission has no right to stop them. Details in this report.
With only 55 days remaining before Zambia heads to the 2026 general elections, the political atmosphere is gradually changing, with some political parties already campaigning for the presidency. The Electoral Commission of Zambia on the 18th of June issued an advisory to all presidential candidates regarding a campaign timetable that will be developed on Monday, June 22. This follows concerns raised by the ECZ after observing that presidential campaigns are being conducted without proper coordination and order. In a statement, ECZ Chief Electoral Officer Brown Kasaro says the campaigns currently lack a coordinated framework, a situation that has the potential to become a source of conflict among political parties. However, the move has not been welcomed by the Civil Society Elections Integrity Forum Zambia, which argues that the Commission has neither the legal nor moral authority to stop political campaigns. Civil Society Elections Integrity Forum Zambia Chairperson Solomon Ngoma says campaigning is a constitutional right of political parties and candidates.
As Civil Society Elections Integrity Forum Zambia, we would like to remind ECZ that it has no legal or moral right to stop political campaigns. Campaigns are a constitutional right of political parties and candidates. It is worrying to note that ECZ management appears as though someone outside is controlling them. This is not only misleading but also very embarrassing to the international community that is observing Zambia's elections. Such actions risk damaging public trust and amount to decampaigning the ruling party. ECZ's role is to run elections fairly and transparently, not to dictate political campaign stages or accuse political actors.
He says that the Zambia police are responsible for coordinating activities to maintain public order and prevent clashes, adding that political parties must be free to plan and carry out their own campaign programs without interference from the ECZ.
Zambia police are responsible for conducting activities to maintain order and avoid clashes. ECZ has never managed campaign rallies in the past. Its job is to oversee elections according to the law, while political parties organize their own campaigns. Changing this practice undermines democracy and creates unnecessary tension.
Kundej, Sachingalesu, Nandu, reporting for CrownTV News in Lusaka.
Now, the TONSE PAMODZI Alliance says it will focus on ensuring that farmers are able to benefit from their produce to protect them from briefcase buyers. Speaking when he addressed a rally in Petauke, Alliance President Brian Mundibile stated that farmers are vulnerable to briefcase buyers because of the delays to get their payments, among other factors. Mr. Mundibile says for the agriculture sector to thrive, it is important that farmers are empowered and paid their monies in good time.
Government ya Bwela mwalima ima mwavutika na kulima mukalima hapa manje timu third week ya June. Floor price ya milisi sina kambiwe swamene wa briefcase businessman Babwela manje kukunyengelelani na ndama zing'ono njaba muna mavuto bana wa skulu na vinangu mukala first no kulisa milisi government yanga ya NRPUP first week of June floor price ya milisi nisiyachoka na government amba kukula milisi tawana kuti 5 years kulabira mwechukanga nolabira mukalabira kwa kapokola awera mkatani weleta kumirandu mulandu wa kutisaiba tukangolabira tiai tukalabira atikati akapokola siawana mazomazo apakiwa Nbanzeru hivyo. Sepenza wala kuna tuja kutia mwe mkavotera mulimi mwanu mafataleza mkoto na 10 mutera 10 mweo.
Now, only 4% of schools in Zambia meet the minimum standards of water, sanitation, and hygiene, a situation stakeholders say threatens children's health, learning, and future potential. More in this report.
Access to safe water and sanitation remains one of Zambia's biggest challenges, with stakeholders warning that the country cannot achieve the sustainable development goals without urgent investment in water, sanitation, and hygiene, especially in the education sector. According to current statistics, only 4% of schools in Zambia meet minimum standards for water, sanitation, and hygiene practices. And government has called for increased investment in the sector of water, hygiene, and sanitation in schools across the country. Speaking during the commemoration of the Day of the African Child, Ministry of Community Development and Social Services Permanent Secretary Angela Kawandami says sustained investment in education and essential wash infrastructure is critical to creating a safe and conducive learning environment where every child can thrive. In a speech read on behalf by Ministry Child Development Officer Posamboko, Ms. Kawandami says the current evidence, which shows that only 4% of schools in Zambia meet the basic standards for water, sanitation, and hygiene, highlights the urgent need for accelerated action. Speaking at the same event, UNICEF Zambia Deputy Representative Tinkani Msonda says stakeholders are working towards making a change and ensuring that all schools have clean water without fail.
Current evidence shows that only 4% of schools in Zambia meet the basic standards for water, sanitation, and hygiene services. 4%. This underscores the urgent need for increased investment, strengthened partnerships, and accelerated action to improve wash facilities in learning institutions. Achieving universal access to safe water, adequate sanitation, and hygiene services requires the collective commitment and concerted effort of all stakeholders.
And some learners present during the commemoration expressed confidence that water and sanitation challenges in school will be a thing of the past.
Water is life. Clean schools help children learn. Healthy children help Zambia grow. This is our future. This is our right. And together, we can make sure that every child in every school and every community has clean water, safe sanitation, and hope for a brighter tomorrow.
For Crown TV News, Tawanda Munyuki.
We now move to the letter to the President. Remember that you can write a letter to the President and it will be read in our grand news at 18:30. You can SMS or WhatsApp your letter to the number 0974 314 807, but remember to avoid the use of vulgar language. Tonight's letter to the President reads,
Dear Mr. President, it is with great pleasure that I take this opportunity to write to you regarding the issue of retirees and the payment of pension benefits. When you were in opposition, Mr. President, you assured the Zambian people that retirees would receive their pension packages within 3 months of retirement. This commitment was also reiterated after you assumed office. However, I am concerned to note that the current situation is taking much longer than the promised, with some retirees waiting for close to 2 years and others up to 3 years. While we appreciate that retirees may still remain on the payroll for a period, it is important, Mr. President, that they are fully paid off in a timely manner to allow for the recruitment of young and energetic civil servants, thereby creating more employment opportunities for the youth. It is for this reason that I humbly appeal to your office to urgently look into this matter. It is also unfortunate that some of our colleagues are passed on while still waiting for their pension benefits after retirement from public office. I therefore kindly request that the measures be taken to ensure that retirees receive their benefits promptly upon retirement from public service. Thank you, Mr. President. This letter is coming from Andrew Marufeyo Shishimba from Mambwe, Eastern Province.
Weather forecast for the afternoon and evening of Friday, 19th June 2026. Northwestern, western and southern provinces, including the northern parts of Luapula and northern provinces, partly cloudy, windy at times and warm to hot. Maximum temperatures to range between 25 and 30 degrees. The evening will be partly cloudy and windy and mild. Copperbelt, Muchinga, Eastern, Central and Lusaka provinces, including the southern parts of Luapula and northern provinces, few clouds, windy at times and hot, warm to hot. Maximum temperatures to range between 25 and 32 degrees Celsius. The evening will be mainly clear and windy and mild. This weather forecast is prepared, or rather produced, by the Zambia Meteorological Department under the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment. We'll take a break.
On a busy day in Lusaka, right in the middle of a vlogging, Mr. Simon Mwelo's phone battery died. Well, he knew what to do next. He called Zambia's top cell phone and accessories dealer. In a flash, problem solved. Across town, Dr. Sia Twambo was getting ready for a presentation when he realized that his PA forgot something. A quick call to Mobile City and his projector screen was delivered in no time. Meanwhile, Vana Fiasasa was about to leave for the village when she remembered she needed a phone upgrade. One call to Mobile City and a new phone arrived just in time. Vana Fiasasa snapping a selfie before hitting the road. But wait, I thought the other guys were in a hurry. For free, fast and reliable delivery, trust Mobile City. Beware of scammers. Mobile City Delivery. You order, we deliver.
This June, step into a bigger entertainment experience with more to love on Us. We're talking more drama, more action, more unforgettable stories, all waiting for you. Bingo. We're opening up our world of entertainment so you can view more. Okay. This June, pay for your current GoTV subscription and we'll upgrade you at no extra cost.
Welcome back. In agriculture news this evening, Northwestern Province Agriculture Coordinator Muyobo Shimabale has commended farmers in the St. Francis Agricultural Block for their continued commitment to agricultural production. Speaking when he officiated at the St. Francis Block Show in Solwezi, Mr. Shimabale said farmers in the block are embracing agriculture diversification, a development that is contributing to increased productivity and the production of quality agricultural products. He noted that the block has continued to demonstrate excellence in farming and serves as an example of how diversification can improve agricultural output and enhance food security. Details in this report.
St. Francis Agriculture Block is regarded as one of the major agricultural hubs in Solwezi District, and Northwestern Provincial Agriculture Coordinator Muyobo Shimabale has commended the area for maintaining high levels of production and quality of its agricultural products when he officiated at the St. Francis Agricultural Block Show.
The diversity of produce which is on display today, the different products that we have seen, which you are growing here in St. Francis, as well as the quality itself, is testimony to the ever-improving production practices of farmers in the area.
And acting St. Francis Agricultural Camp Chairperson Benjamin Buku appealed to the Ministry of Agriculture to increase the allocation of inputs under the Farmer Input Support Program FISIP for farmers in the camp, citing the growing number of beneficiaries and the area's strong production record.
May I take this privilege to request for more FISIP packs, especially from other camps which are not active in showing what they are doing, with main packs that your able office gives them.
Meanwhile, the block show organizing chairperson Jerry Tambo urged farmers to put into practice the knowledge and techniques they learned during the agriculture show.
I know that you have learned a lot of things. Let's take what we have learned here to go and implement them where we are going.
Chapunga Manengu, reporting for NICE, Solwezi District.
Ends the agriculture news for this evening. We take another break.
The ultimate business stage is back. From the 1st to the 7th of July, the trade fairgrounds in Ndola will be buzzing with endless opportunities. But how does your business stand out in the crowd? You get on the big screen with Crown TV. We will be live in Ndola, ready to take your brand straight into the homes of millions. From primetime commercials to exclusive event coverage, we create advertising that drives real results. Don't miss out. Visit the Crown TV stand in Ndola between July 1st and July 7th or contact our sales team today to secure your special trade fair advertising package. Crown TV, feel the honor.
Numerous cases of people falling asleep have been reported across the African continent. No one can explain this phenomenon.
With 24/7 FIFA World Cup coverage, sleep can wait. Everything can wait.
Catch all 104 matches from as little as 255 kwacha, only on DSTV.
Welcome back. The Grand News continues. Now, in a move set to reshape the Zambian media landscape, Crown TV and Azam Media Group have officially entered into a strategic partnership significantly broadening the broadcaster's reach across the country and the sub-Saharan region. The agreement, formalized at a signing ceremony in Lusaka Friday, marks the official launch of Crown TV on the Azam platform, effective immediately. Crown TV Managing Director Oswald Yambani, represented by Head of Production Chinyimba Daisy Lusumpa, explained that viewers can access Crown TV's English language programming on channel 494 on the Azam TV satellite and digital networks. Mr. Lusumpa noted that the move ensures that the station's trusted, accurate, and high-quality content is now accessible to the viewers regardless of their geographic location within the country. And Azam Director Simon Botta explained that through the partnership, Crown TV will now have the opportunity to reach a significantly wider audience, ensuring that its content becomes accessible to households not only across Zambia, but also other markets where Azam operates.
Our growth over the past few years has been defined by a simple truth. The business of TV is the business of numbers, but it is also more importantly the business of connection. Today we're through to solidify that connection by launching Crown TV on Azam platform. Being available on channel 494 allows us to bring our news, our creativity, storytelling, and our high energy programming to an even wider audience. It ensures that whether a viewer is here in the heart of Lusaka or in the furthest reaches of the country, they have access to the trusted, accurate, and high quality content that defines the Crown TV brand.
At Azam TV, we believe that local content is the heartbeat of any broadcasting platform. Viewers want to see their stories told, their communities represented, and their culture celebrated. Through this partnership, Crown TV will now have the opportunity to reach significantly wider audience through Azam TV's satellite and digital platforms, ensuring that its content becomes accessible to households, not only across Zambia, but also in other markets where Azam TV operates, and we operate in 8 countries within this region.
Vice President Mutalena Lumango has commended the Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board for its investment in infrastructure, agriculture and tourism projects, saying they are contributing to economic growth and job creation across the country. More in this report.
A renewed identity, expanded investments, and a strengthened commitment to workers' protection. The Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board has officially unveiled its new brand in Lusaka. Speaking during the rebranding launch of the Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board in Lusaka, Vice President Mutalena Lumango commended the institution for its continued commitment to worker welfare and strategic investments. The Vice President's remarks come as the board continues to expand its investment portfolio in infrastructure, agriculture, tourism, and real estate projects across the country.
This occasion symbolizes not only the introduction of a renewed institutional identity, but also a reaffirmation of our collective commitment to progress, justice, and the welfare of every Zambian worker and their family.
Meanwhile, the Workers' Compensation Fund Control Board chairperson says the new corporate identity is part of efforts to improve service delivery, strengthen stakeholder confidence, and position the institution for future growth.
This new identity signals our resolve to build an institution that inspires trust, that delivers value, that offers hope to those who serve. This rebranding is both timely and necessary. It reflects the progress we have made and the future we are building through prudent stewardship.
Matilda Kanyinji reporting for Crown TV News, Lusaka.
Now, Zambia is taking its tourism pitch to Angola as the government seeks fresh investment and stronger regional ties at the Global Tourism Forum Investment Summit. Speaking on the sidelines of the forum, Deputy Secretary to Cabinet for Finance and Economic Development, Siazongo Siagalenge, said Zambia is positioning tourism as a key driver for job creation and infrastructure growth. The summit, held under the patronage of His Excellency President João Lourenço of Angola, has brought together investors, policymakers and tourism leaders to unlock opportunities across Africa. Details in this report.
We have quite a lot of tourism potential.
Zambia is taking its tourism pitch to Angola as government seeks fresh investment and stronger regional ties at the Global Tourism Forum Investment Summit. The summit, held under the patronage of His Excellency President João Lourenço of Angola, has brought together investors, policymakers, tourism leaders to unlock opportunities across Africa. Zambia is being represented by Deputy Secretary to Cabinet for Financial and Economic Development, Mr. Siazonga Siakalenge. Speaking on the sidelines of the forum, Mr. Siakalenge said Zambia is positioning tourism as key driver for job creation and infrastructure growth.
We have quite a lot to learn, but as a country, we have quite a lot of tourism potential. But what we require to do is to actualize that particular potential in order for us to start benefiting in line with what we have in the country.
Mr. Siakalenge added that Zambia's participation reflects a broader push to attract private capital into hospitality, aviation and transport sectors.
It has brought together not only African countries to be here. You have even seen the Secretary General of the United Nations Tourism Organization making a statement during the official opening of the Global Tourism Summit. You have seen most of the major players in the tourism sector participate in this global event.
The Rwanda Summit runs under the theme of sustainable investment and regional integration, aligning with Zambia's goal to grow tourism arrivals and deepen Angola-Zambia bilateral trade.
As a whole, we are a region that has unique attributes. Each one of us has unique attributes, and what we need to now look at is tourism is a game of numbers, and numbers game of people. And looking at where we're sitting, Luanda is attracting it houses approximately 11 million people. That is over 50% of our whole population. So we need to now start looking at how do we leverage our numbers, how do we leverage our attractions.
Anton Chamba, CrownTV News, Lusaka.
Refugees in Zambia have called for greater inclusion and access to opportunities, saying they want to move beyond humanitarian assistance and contribute more meaningfully to national development as government and partners reaffirm commitment to refugee protection and integration. Meanwhile, government says efforts to integrate refugees into national development remain on course for expanded access to education, employment, and essential services to improve self-reliance and reduce dependence on aid. Details in this report.
Traditional dances, songs, and cultural displays brought color and energy as refugees and host communities gathered to commemorate World Refugee Day. The event celebrated not only the resilience and contributions of refugees, but also showcased the rich cultural diversity that exists among different communities living together in Zambia. Home Affairs Permanent Secretary Dixon Matembo, who was the guest of honor, toured exhibition stands and interacted with participants to appreciate the different cultural expressions on display. Meanwhile, refugee representatives called for continued support and greater access to education, employment, and other opportunities to strengthen self-reliance.
The refugee community in the Republic of Zambia are not simply a recipient of never-ending handouts, but active contributors to this noble sanctuary of ours economy in diverse areas such as farming, trading, craftsmanship, and many other professions which might add value to the local markets and our host communities' reputational standing on both the African and the global stages when given the opportunity.
Partners also reaffirmed the need to protect the rights of refugees and promote inclusion under this year's World Refugee Day message of ensuring safety and opportunity for all.
Light is a lifeline. It is the difference between fear and protection, between despair and hope, between life and death. It is also a right that belongs to all of us. Who among us can be certain that we or those we love will never need it? The promise of protection made 75 years ago was never intended for a select few, but for everyone.
Meanwhile, government says it remains committed to promoting inclusion and creating opportunities that allow refugees and host communities to thrive together.
Government, we remain committed to ensuring that refugees are integrated into national development efforts in a manner that promotes dignity, self-resilience, peaceful coexistence, and our approach is clear. Refugees and those communities must progress together through inclusive development that leaves no one behind.
Resilience and contribution of refugees, former refugees, asylum seekers, and host communities. Their presence is a living reminder of Zambia's enduring commitment to inclusive development and to building a society where no one is left behind.
Wow. It was a scene of different cultures and different traditions. There was only one shared identity, that of being human. Agnes Likando, reporting for Crown TV News, Lusaka.
Young people have been encouraged to support the tobacco control bill, with stakeholders highlighting their role in protecting public health. At the Thy Speech Master Competition finale in Lusaka, Tobacco Control Consortium of Zambia chairperson Albert Piri said youth involvement is vital in advocating for the bill and safeguarding the country's future. WHO Country Representative Clement Lasuba, represented by Dr. Peter Chipimo, praised the Master Chimbala Foundation for organizing the competition, saying it helps young people build communication and leadership skills. Here's a report.
For years, health advocates and stakeholders have been calling for the enactment of the Tobacco Control Bill, a piece of legislation aimed at protecting citizens from the harmful effects of tobacco use. While the bill has progressed through Parliament, it is yet to receive presidential assent. Public health advocates say exposure to tobacco at an early age increases the likelihood of nicotine addiction and the development of life-threatening diseases later in life. It is against this backdrop that young people have been encouraged to take an active role in advocating for the Tobacco Control Bill. Speaking during the grand finale of the Thy Speech Master Competition in Lusaka, Tobacco Control Consortium of Zambia chairperson Albert Piri emphasized the importance of youth participation in the fight against tobacco use.
Effective advocacy is based on evidence. Evidence that will eventually inform policy. And evidence is very, very critical, and we see this now as the Joshua generation of tobacco control.
And Mr. Piri urged young people to become champions of tobacco control and support efforts aimed at seeing the bill enacted into law.
What matters to the youth matters to Zambia, and what matters to Zambia matters mostly to the youth. And tobacco control is one issue that matters the most at this moment.
The call was echoed by the World Health Organization country representative, Dr. Clemens Lasuba, who was represented by Dr. Pete Chipimo. He commended the Master Chimbala Foundation for organizing the competition, describing it as a platform that equips young people with essential communication, critical thinking, and leadership skills.
So let me begin by commending the Master Chimbala Foundation and the United Nations Development Program for this inspiring initiative. The platform is clearly not just a competition. It is an investment in Zambia's future.
Dr. Chipimo said empowering young people with knowledge and confidence enables them to make informed decisions and contribute meaningfully to national development.
By equipping these young people we've seen today with the knowledge and these obvious advocacy skills that we've seen today and the evidence-based information, we are nurturing a generation of leaders, one that will help us to shape healthier communities. So today's gathering.
Meanwhile, Master Chimbala Foundation Chief Executive Officer Master Chimbala encouraged participants to continue using their voices to advocate for issues affecting their communities.
Moments like these, such as today, prepare us to answer those questions day by day. Even today, I'm adding up value to the other people coming after me. That's how we truly develop a nation. We can build roads, but with dead lives, we are doomed to get nowhere. And that's why we will stand on advocacy for health. We don't talk development without health, because wealth is built on the foundation of health. Health is life.
The competition concluded on a high note, with 5 outstanding participants receiving awards in recognition of their exceptional speeches and advocacy skills. As Zambia continues its efforts to strengthen tobacco control measures, stakeholders believe that empowering young people to lead the conversation could play a crucial role in creating a healthier and tobacco-free future for the nation. Kundej, Sachingalesu, Ngandu, reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
Zambezi's central constituency residents have charged that they are eagerly waiting for developmental works in the area. The residents have told Crown TV News crew that they have long waited to see development, which they keep hearing about from other areas. Patrick Mackay spoke to some residents and brought us this report.
Political parties in Zambezi's central constituency have launched high-pitched campaigns ahead of the August 13th pause. Rallies, roadshows and sharp exchanges are dominating the political landscape in the newly created constituency. The Rural United Party for National Development UPND has intensified grassroots mobilization across Zambezi's central constituency as it seeks victory in the August 13th, 2026 general election. Both the ruling party and the opposition are intensifying efforts to sway voters ahead of the August pause. The UPND remains optimistic, arguing that residents want stronger representation and effective advocacy for development projects. One of the biggest cries in these communities is the lack of social amenities such as roads, water and health facilities. Residents say they hope the new lawmaker will address the challenges they face daily. UPND Zambezi's central constituency aspiring Member of Parliament Dennis Mano has outlined some of the development projects he intends to undertake if elected on August 13th.
President HH, nemuna mvoteri, nami muna mvoteri, nikana kumulombala mitata, kuna kumkala wechu kunganda, kumushumba, kulunda lubanza capital, ana kukenga menji, menja kanyinka. Mula kuntakona zambi, mkanda nkunda, tuna kaumbu secondary school. Nelukine kuishi iskola yetu kufuma kulunkunyi na kuna kwa anyana na kushakama mumatala ma boarding houses net fine. Tuna kukenga boarding school muna kutia fine. Boarding secondary kaumbu chukashu boarding secondary kulondanya na kakama manga iskola.
On August 13th, 2026, voters in Zambia Central Constituency will go to the polls to elect their first member of parliament to represent them in the National Assembly. Patrick Mackay, Crown TV News, Zambezi.
We now take our final break. When we return, we will look at sports news. We'll be right back.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwengu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwengu. Iye nani best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye nani mwa kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye nani best kombucha. You drink best kombucha.
Now you see, politics is not just about speeches and headlines. It is the heartbeat of every country's economy. From the power struggles, the promises, the people's voices, and the truths that hide between the lines. On the Royal Breakfast Show, we do not just report politics. We break it down. We connect the dots. We tell the story behind the story with clarity, in-depth, and courage.
And in the world of sports, every pass, every shot, and knockout. From the cheers of the roaring fans to the thrill of the final whistle. Trust the Royal Breakfast crew to bring it to your eyes first.
Are you planning an investment or trade? Money Markets wakes you up to numbers that shape the day. Let your business meet opportunity.
Now, because we understand that the decisions made by our leaders do directly affect you in the communities, we do make sure that we bring to you news from the communities so that you are part of the conversation.
Make sure that you do tune in so that you can find out more about lifestyle hacks as well as diet and fitness. It's not just talk, it's a guide to everyday living in every sense.
Every weekday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha and Divine Power Kombucha.
Welcome back. In sports news this evening, FAZ kicks off high-stakes promotion playoffs. Before we go into the details, here's a word from our sponsors.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwengu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwengu. Iye nani best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye nani mwa kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye nani best kombucha. You drink best kombucha.
Sports news in detail. The race for promotion to National Division 1 is officially on after the Football Association of Zambia conducted the playoff draw on Friday. Provincial champions will battle it out from 22nd to 26th June in a 5-day showdown, with only the best earning promotion to the country's second-tier league. FAZ says the stakes are higher than ever, with National Division 1 now serving as the official gateway to professional football. Details in this report.
The Football Association of Zambia held the playoff draw on Friday, 19th June 2026. From 22nd to 26th June 2026, teams will go head-to-head in a 5-day scramble for promotion. Iva Lengwe from FAZ applauded every provincial winner that made it through. He pointed out that this season matters more after FAZ expanded the National Division 1 from 18 to 20 clubs. Lengwe stressed that Division 1 is the bridge into professional football. Any side aiming for that spot must show discipline and high standards, not just during matches but in how they run their clubs too. He made it clear FAZ won't accept anything that damages the credibility of the sport.
Me from the onset to congratulate the 10 teams that qualified for these playoffs. Emerging as a champion from your perspective provinces is not an easy achievement. It requires commitment, sacrifice, organization, and consistency throughout the season. You therefore deserve recognition for reaching this important stage of the competition.
Zambia Premier League's Brian Mlenga also weighed in, urging all teams to stick to the rule book. He says rule breakers risk losing games by default or getting hit with penalties.
The decisions of the playoffs disciplinary committee are final. There is no appeal. You can't have a situation where there's a decision, then after the tournament is over, you start appealing, trying to reverse the results of the tournament. The decision is final. There's no appeal. That's number one. Number two, once again, no one else other than the FAZ playoff disciplinary committee can rule.
Both the men's and women's playoffs will run side by side. Each category is divided into 2 pools of 5 teams battling for the top spots. Labne Simpson reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
Now, the Zambia Boxing Federation, with support from the National Olympic Committee of Zambia, has brought in an expatriate coach to prepare the team for the 2026 Commonwealth Games. UK coach Carl Andrew Wally will lead training for the boxing team in the build-up to the Games. The move is aimed at ensuring boxers are adequately prepared and to boost Zambia's medal haul. Zambia won 2 medals, 1 silver and 1 bronze in boxing at the last Commonwealth Games in Birmingham.
Yeah, and then as a result of the success story we had in Birmingham in terms of boxing at the time, with the talent that exists here, I think we took the same route as CGA Zambia to try and again add a little more value to working with our preparations for boxing and also the boxers are here. So we, in consultation with the boxing federations and support from Commonwealth Games federations, we engaged boxing to be in a local camp earlier than the other ones by supporting capacity development and enhanced training. So I'm happy, President Foloko, to announce that that program was started about 2 weeks ago. We had boxers in camp, a local camping, with support from UK-based coach, and I'm glad to know that he's in our midst now. Carl Wally, please. Carl Wally is based in the UK. A little background, we started this conversation with Carl in 2020 when we prepared for Birmingham. At that time, we were talking about him developing a strategic capacity development plan for coaching in Zambia and so on. But we're glad that, a few years down the line, you're still made it to Zambia and so on.
This item brings us to the end of sports news for this evening. But before we go, another word from our sponsors.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha, and Divine Power Kombucha.
We have now come to the end of the grand news for this evening, Friday, June 19th, 2026. But before we go, we look at the headlines once again. HH wins eligibility case. TIZ flags transparency gaps in dual carriage project. 200 East Police get promoted. And in sports news, FAS kicks off high-stakes promotion playoffs. Ends the grand news for this evening. Thank you for watching. My name is Rachael Chipwende. Good night and God bless.